I'd like to thank the grace of heaven and the virtues of the masters and compassion, mercy of the grand predecessors, transmitters, temple masters, other lecturers that give me this opportunity to talk about today's topic. Learn to talk about, which is, I say three treasures, but it's really three treasures from a Buddha nature perspective. How's that? It's a little bit more advanced, okay? Really a lot more advanced than normally what we learn, right, about the three treasures after the Tao blessing ceremony, right? We were doom, 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever, what are the three, we know what the three things are, right? I mean, I don't want to go into detail, all right? So what I came up today is two files, two documents. The landscape paper one is it's a spreadsheet. It's basically a chart to kind of capture, the complete thing. All right, the complete three treasures from the Buddha nature, explained from the Buddha nature perspective. All right, and I'll explain it a little bit later. And then the second document, the portrait one, which is 2 pages, it's a Word document, and that kind of follows from the first document, the spreadsheet, based on the far left column of what I call levels. Okay, I call levels. And so the Word document, the portrait, the 2-pager, goes a little bit more into detail, but it's not really. It's an outline, still an outline. So it's for you to go into depth yourself, right, to learn. But I kind of, because I got lazy, I didn't want to type everything out. It's too long. It'd be like several pages, and I didn't want to do that. So I just did it into outline form. All right. So I mean, all right. And it has the Chinese. That's why I use the Word document. In the spreadsheet, it's hard to add Chinese characters. I mean you could do it, but it's complicated. So anyway, so let's go back to the spreadsheet, the landscape form. Okay, now I spent a lot of time. I spent more time, as a matter of fact, trying to figure out how to set up the format of the presentation. I mean, I know the contents. The contents is easy. It's easy. The question is, how do you present it in such a way that it has an order, a sequence? And okay, so it's tough. Actually, it should be 3-dimensional, but unfortunately, on a sheet of paper, on a spreadsheet, it's 2-dimensional. So I'm that's my constraint. So basically, on the very top, I have the top line, whatever you want to call it. I call it levels on the far left, okay, and it's followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, numbers, okay. Now, the levels, don't take this as gospel. Oh, that's the exact level. Don't think it that way. It's, for lack of a better term, I use levels because I was trying to approach it from different perspectives. So you can say dimension, the perspective. Okay, so that's what it means. Then the next 3 big columns are the descriptions. Okay, and then if you come down right row below it, okay, we're talking about 3 treasures, right? So that's why I italicize it. Okay, and bold it. It's 3 treasures, and we know what those three are, right? It's the heavenly portal, divine mantra, and the holy seal or mudra, right? Okay, so that's right. So now, how do we understand the 3 treasures besides what we talk about, right? About the 3 treasures, in that, after we receive the Tao. I mean, those are specific. They're correct. They're not wrong. They're correct, but they're very narrow, and they seem so. If you go back to the Word document, on the background, unfortunately, the numbers don't correlate. I mean, but the one, one's background instead of dimension. But that's okay. The 3 treasures is more than just those 3 items that we learn about during the Tao blessing ceremony. All right. Actually, if we really want to approach it from at a deep, understand the 3 treasures at a deeper level, i.e., the Buddha nature perspective, they embody and represent all the various teachings, levels and aspects and teachings of the Tao, the teachings of the Buddha, Confucius, etc. Okay, and there are higher levels of meaning and understanding to the 3 treasures, and these are to be learned, understood, and applied in everyday living, not just when we need it. You get it? Or when we, about to go on our last breath. I got to remember that door is open. I got to remember what the 5 words are and what the hand sign is. That's very superficial, okay? So actually it's more than that, okay? So now let's go back to the spreadsheet. I'm sorry, you have to go back and forth, okay? But anyway, so now I call level 1 dimension. Now, okay, I'm trying to approach it. Now, this is one approach. This is not the only way, but this is one approach, okay? One way, so I call it levels, that's why I say. So I try to approach it from the broadest level, the grandest level, and then I go down. It's like drilling down, okay? Drilling down, all right? So that's why 1, 2, 3. It's like layers, okay? I mean, that's one approach, okay? So don't, it's not, it doesn't have to be this way, explained this way, but I want to explain this way so that it's easier to understand. Specifically, to when you go down to the lower levels, I mean, to the number 6, 7, 8, etc., it goes more detail, okay? So there are different ways of approaching this, but I'm trying to use it this way because I have a specific goal in mind, which is trying to relate, say, okay, the 3 treasures. We know what the 3 treasures are, but how is that connected to cultivation and to its application in everyday life? So one approach, one way, one solution is to say, how do I connect the 3 treasures and link it to a path of cultivation, which is what? Let's say Eightfold Path. Get it? Noble Eightfold Path. Make sense? Okay, so this is one approach. So I'm just trying to do it from this way, all right? Okay, actually connects to more, but because this is good enough this is good enough for starters, okay? I mean, each one of us, as you progress, you can do your own, you can add your own, because that will prove how far you've progressed, okay, in understanding the Buddha nature, okay? So basically, on the spreadsheet, I'm trying to link the 3 treasures to our cultivation. In this case, specifically, the Eightfold Path, okay? All right, so that's one approach, okay? So let's go to the first level, which is dimension. Okay, so under Heavenly Portal, or column A, it's A, B, and C. Because on the handout, on the Word document, under each level, I also have A, B, C to represent those 3 columns. Okay, I mean, I should have said A is Heavenly Portal, B is Divine Mantra, C is Holy Seal. But I got lazy, I didn't do that. So anyway, all right. So just remember that A, B, C. I try to make it easy for you guys, but it's flow easily. Because this is my perspective, okay, or my understanding, maybe that's a better way, okay? So anyway, okay, so the first level, I call it dimension, okay? I call it at the broadest level. I mean, dimension, you could use another term, doesn't matter, I just use dimension, okay? So Heavenly Portal represents something that's absolute, okay? It signifies something that's absolute. For example, our Buddha nature, okay? Our essence, etc. Okay, so that's non-dualistic. It's the Dharma Dhatu, you can say, the ultimate reality, whatever. Okay, then the divine mantra is what represents something that's non-physical, that's celestial. Okay, and the holy seal mudra is physical or worldly or earthly. Okay, all right. So, and then level 2 realms, we drill down a little bit. Okay, I have 2 rows. The first one is It's the Buddha. I mean, from the Buddhism perspective. The second row is, I said, per Taoism, because that's what Taoists also call it. So Heavenly Portal represents our nature, our essence, or the principle. Okay, makes sense, right? I mean, we all know that. Divine Mantra represents our mind or spirit. Then now in Chinese, so if you look at this Word document, go back to the Word document, look under 3, Realm and Taoism. I know, you have 2 columns, A, B, C, right? 3 rows. The first one in Chinese is Li, right? Principle. That's what it is, okay? Xing 跟 Li, okay? Nature and principle, all right? Essence, principle, whatever, okay? Absolute awareness, you can call it that. Then B, mind, Xing, or consciousness. And in Taoism, they call it Qi. You get it? Qi. qi literally means air, but actually qi in this case, you could say it's vitality. An example of vitality, I call it the spirit, okay? The spirit, all right? And then the body, the third column C, it's the body, sun, right? Sun, and Buddha, and in Taoism, they call it xiang. Xiang means form, or shapes and forms. Maybe that's more accurate, okay? So it makes sense, right? Okay? Because the hand seal is what? You have to have a form to have a hand seal. Hello, right? Right? Okay. All right. So all right. So that's what it represents. Okay. So from the first three. Okay. So first two. Okay. Now then, let's drill down a little bit more. So what does those realms of nature or principle or essence, mind, spirit, and body and form represent also? Okay. So we go down to level 3. Okay, on the spreadsheet, where I call it the Trikaya, or on number 4 on your Word document, okay, which is the 3 bodies. Trikaya means 3 bodies, okay. Now this is from the Buddhism perspective, obviously, but because So the first one, our essence or our nature, that's the absolute. It's our Dharmakaya. It's the Dharma body or reality body, or you can say suchness, thusness. Okay, all right. Then divine mantra comes down to our Sambhogakaya, or perfect reward body. And then the whole hand seal, holy seal, represents the Nirmanakaya, or transformation or manifestation body. Now in Chinese, okay, if you look at the Word document, I have the Chinese characters. The Dharmakaya is, I say fasen. That's a shortened description. The full description is in if you read the Platform Sutra. So you guys have to read the Platform Sutra, chapter 6 on repentance. Okay, he called it the Qing Jing Fa Sen. Okay, pure. It means pure Dharmakaya. I mean, it's kind of like kind of redundant. Dharmakaya is already pure. It's because it's absolute. Okay, but that's okay. I mean, okay. And then the Sambhogakaya is called Yuan Man Bao Sen, means perfect. Yuan Man means perfect. Perfect. So in English, I have the description: perfect reward body. Okay, and then Nirmanakaya is what did he call it? The 千亿化身, or something like that, right? 千亿化身, I think that's what he called it. Okay, 千百亿化身. Literally, 千百亿 means countless. Literally, it means 1,000, 100. E is what? 10 million? 100 million. 100 million. 100 million. So 1,000, 100. 1,000 times 1, 10,000, 100 million, whatever that is. So it sounds a lot. Okay, that means it's infinite or new countless transformations. Get it? Okay. All right. Now, this is just a surface level meaning. If you read the Platform Sutra, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya also has its own higher level meaning. Okay, besides these basic translations. Okay. So, but that's a different topic. But I'm just trying to say that at least through level 1, 2, 3, that's how it's linked or connected to the 3 treasures. Okay. All right. Now. So then. Okay. So now we have the first 3 levels. Now, so the next. So how does that connect to or link to our down the road, cultivation and attributes? So we haven't gotten there yet. So the key thing is the number 4 and number 5. Okay, level 4 and 5. Okay, which is called the threefold guidance and the triple gem. Okay, so and this is also based on Platform Sutra. Okay, Platform Sutra, which 6 patriarchs said in chapter 6. Okay, so it pays to read that. Okay, read the Platform Sutra. Okay, so let's look at level 4, which is the threefold guidance, or in Chinese it's called the 三皈依. Okay, 三皈依. Literally, it means the triple. San Gui. 3 to 1 reliance or something like that. Yeah, reliance or dependence or something like that. Yi means means to rely on, to depend on. Gui means to return, So 3 into 1. 3. Yeah, 3 conforms to 1. Yeah, reliance. Yeah, it's 3. The 3, yeah, you can say conform or, yeah. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So what he said, okay, so this on the spreadsheet between level 4 and 5, right? Threefold guidance and triple gem. He called it enlightenment. 觉, but okay, so if you read the Word document, I have it in Chinese, right? 觉, okay, enlightenment, 觉, to the Buddha, okay, which is, I say enlightenment, also awareness. I mean, because supreme, the supreme perfect awareness or absolute awareness is Buddha. Okay, it's Buddha. Okay, so awareness has different levels. Enlightenment also has different levels, but he's talking about the highest level. Okay, which is the 无上正等正觉, okay, which is, Anuttara Sanya Sambodhi. I didn't write it down in detail because it didn't fit, but that's okay. It didn't fit on the spreadsheet. So anyway, okay, so just know that. So that's Buddha. So that's linked to Buddha. That's what he said. Okay, this is what 6 Patriarchs said. I didn't make it up. Okay, so you read chapter 6. And then that's related to column A, okay, the Dharmakaya, right? It's the dustness, okay, so, and then column B, divine mantra, he called it zhen, or uprightness. I call it uprightness. I don't know if there's such a word. Orthodoxy. He called it orthodox. Something that's correct, proper, correct. Okay? And so he linked that to the Dharma. You know that? He says, that's to Dharma. That relates to Dharma. Okay? Dharma. Okay? And then C, he called purity or jing, purity, pureness. And he linked that to the Sangha, which is the what? The Tao cultivating community or whatever, community of cultivators, okay? So that's the threefold guidance, the relationship between threefold guidance and triple gem. Understand? Okay? Now, this is all based on chapter 6 of the Platform Sutra on repentance, okay? So you all can read it, all right? Okay? Now, from there, from level 3 and 4, then that's the vital connection between the Trikaya, the first 3 levels, to the next 2 levels. That is the threefold practice or 3 non-outflow studies and the cultivation level. Okay? So that's, just on the spreadsheet, that'll be level 6 and 7. Okay? All right? So it's called, I don't know, in the Word document, you have the 3 non-outflow studies or threefold practice, three pillars. It's called the 三无漏学. Okay, the 3 non-outflow, basically, studies. Okay, and what are they? They are basically concentration or meditation, dhyana, samadhi, or dhyana, samadhi. Dhyana is very broad. Samadhi is more specific. Samadhi is sanmei. Get it? Sanmei. So that's the highest level of dhyana. Dhyana is very broad. Dhyana, concentration has many levels. If you see, that's why in more details, you guys should go to. Remember, I did a presentation on the Eightfold Paths a while ago, about almost a year ago, maybe more, maybe 2 years ago. Remember, I did the Eightfold Paths. There's a Word document, and also there's a spreadsheet showing the different levels. Remember? Okay, so you can refer to that if you want to go into more details. Okay, but right now, I'm not going into details. But you understand. All right. Okay. So anyway. Okay. So then that's the column A, heavenly portal. It relates. So concentration, meditation, dhyana. Column B, this is between 5 and 6. Okay. 6 and 7 too. But Dharma, remember he says Dharma, okay, it's related to divine perfect wisdom or Mahaprajna, okay? And C, ethical conduct, moral discipline, is Sila, it's related to the Sangha. Why? Because all the Dharmas are trying to what? Teach us to what? Manifest our divine wisdom. Make sense? Make sense? Okay? Manifest our divine wisdom. And what does the Sangha do? When they practice, they have to apply what? Ethical conduct, moral discipline. or sila. Make sense? So that's the connection between 5 and 6. Okay? All right? And now once we have that connection, then you can connect levels 1 through 5 to level 7, which is the cultivation. I call it the cultivation level, okay? Which is much more, specific now, okay? Even though it has many different type of cultivation, but in this case, I'm using the Eightfold Path, okay? Because Eightfold Path is very broad, okay? It's very generic. You can say generic, okay? Very generic, okay? And it's very basic too. It's very basic. So that's how I'm applying. Because if you can make that connection to the basic level, then it'll apply to all levels. Make sense? Okay? All right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could go even more, drill down even more. But that's, I could go into, multiple pages and then just too much detail. My intent was not that, okay? The purpose of this class is not that. It's just to get you started, okay? Okay, get us started. So now we could go to level 7, which is the cultivation level. And in this case, I'm talking about Noble Eightfold Path. And what is the Noble Eightfold Path? We did if you listen to that presentation about a year or so ago, right? If you read the panel, look at the spreadsheet, it's divided into 3 levels, okay? I mean, 3 areas. There's the concentration piece area, there's the wisdom area, and then there is the precept or moral discipline or ethical conduct area. And they correspond to column A, B, and C. Right? So concentration is number 6, 7, and 8 of the Noble Eightfold Path. Get it? Okay? Now, I don't want to go into details because, once again, on the Word document, I talk about it in number 7. I say details, see separate file. Okay? So you guys can go into it. All right? Okay? Okay? And then, obviously, especially under concentration number 7, proper mindfulness, it's very important because that mindfulness is, remember, we have it in the glossary terms for Buddha nature class. Remember, I went into the higher level. There's the surface level, and then there's a higher level understanding, right? So you have to understand that the Eightfold Path has a surface, basic level meaning, and then more advanced level, okay? All right, so that's a separate topic, but okay? So I talked about it, or I did talk about a little bit about it during the Eightfold Path, Noble Eightfold Path presentation, a little bit, all right? And when we talk about the glossary of terms, it's in the glossary of terms of Buddha nature file so that you can look it up, all right? Okay, so, and then under wisdom, column B, okay, it's the number 1 and 2 of the Eightfold Path, which is proper view, understanding, and proper thoughts. Okay? All right? Okay? And that's all related to wisdom. Okay? And then column C, under discipline, is what? All those, It's 3, 4, 5. Steps 3, numbers 3, 4, 5 of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is what? Proper speech, proper, conduct, proper livelihood. Right? Right? 正言, 正行, 正命, and 正业. All right? Okay? All that. All right? Those are all under discipline. Okay? Category. So now, as from now on, so I've kind of connected dots or linked between the 3 treasures, between the heavenly portal, divine mantra, and holy, down to the cultivation plane or level of the Eightfold Path. Make sense? So when we say we cultivate our 3 treasures every day, all the time, what does that mean? Oh, that linked to we have to do the Eightfold Paths every day, all the time. Make sense? It's not say, I have to remember that first portal. I have to remember those 5 words. Yes, that's on the surface level. Make sense? But on a deeper level, it's we have to, apply it. Apply the 3 treasures. Cultivate it. And how? How do you cultivate it? Follow the Eightfold Paths. Make sense? So that's how it's linked. Get it? Linked to the 3 treasures. Okay? So that's the link. Get it? Make sense? Make sense? Okay? Yeah. Very, very, very straightforward, right? Very straightforward. Okay. Now let's go down to level 8. I call it attributes. I mean, it's you can say characteristics. In Sanskrit, it's called laksana. or 品质 or 品质, yeah, 品质. Qualities, that's called qualities. Okay, attributes, I call it attributes. I mean, and there are many types. Okay, many. So on the spreadsheet, I just pick those three. Okay, because they're the more basic. There's more. There are more. You can add more. It depends how well we understand our Buddha nature, how deep our understanding of Buddha nature is. You can add more. Okay, but this is just a starting point. I mean, very basic, okay? So the first one is called the 4 Nirvana virtues. Now, on the Word document, it's in number 8, attributes. The 4 Nirvana virtues are the 四德, you know that? The 4, in Chinese, they call it the 四德. Most of us don't talk about that, okay? Now, I don't have it in the glossary of terms, but I have the opposite of that. It's called the 4 inverted views, which is the wrong view of the 4 virtues. Get it? Of the 4 nirvana virtues. The wrong view. Or you can say wrong understanding. Okay? I have the 4 inverted views. Okay? But now I'm doing what the 4 nirvana virtues are. Or remember nirvana. What's nirvana? Nirvana means enlightenment. Get it? It means what? Nirvana literally means no birth, no death, or no beginning, no end. Isn't that what? Absolute awareness. That's absolute. That's our essence. That's Dhammakaya. That's enlightenment. That's Buddhahood. Get it? Okay, so that's why it falls under column A. Make sense? So that's why also column A represents that, or embodies that. The 4 nirvana virtues, sorry. And you know what the 4 nirvana virtues are, right? In Chinese, it's 常乐我净. Okay, I translate it. I mean, it is. I mean, it's the standard translation is permanence, joy, self. It's true self, really, true self, and it's pureness, or you can say purity. Okay, the first one, permanence, 常, implies what? Something that's changeless, timeless. Okay, eternal. You can say that. Okay, okay. Then the second one, 乐. Okay, it's what? It's not. It is joy. It's translated as joy, but it's actually more than that. I call it the 10 emancipation. 实自在 encompasses that, or embodies that. Maybe that's, or expresses that. Anybody know what the 实自在 is? The 10 emancipations. It's in the glossary list. It's in the glossary list of the Buddha nature. Okay, Buddha nature glossary list. So you can look it up. Okay, there are 10 of them. Okay, 10. So it's pretty broad. I call it 10 freedoms, 10 liberations. Okay, then the third one. Okay, it's called true self. I call it's 我, literally. It means 我. It means atta. Atta, Atman. Okay, in Sanskrit term. Now, I call it true self because it implies the essence, okay? Your Buddha nature. You can say it's your Buddha nature, okay? So it's the unperturbed, non-dualistic, non-attached, unmoving, no 4 marks, right? No 4 marks. You know what the 4 marks are, right? The 四相, right? So no differentiation, in other words, okay? Everyone is the same, you can say, right? Because we have the same essence, right? Then 4 marks are just forms, right? Well, you can say forms, yeah, right? Okay? So that's what it means, okay? So that's what the self, that's the true self. That 我 is the same 我 or same self in what? Thus have I heard, or thus I have heard. 如是我闻, right? Thus have I heard, or something like that, right? Is that the translation? That's also in the glossary list, but I didn't give the details, but that's the same I. So it's not the conscious mind I, okay? Make sense? Okay, get it? It's not the conscious mind I. It's the Buddha nature I, basically, okay? That's what it means, okay? So that's the part of the third of the 4 nirvana virtues. The last one is pureness. We say pureness. It means it's something that's non-stainable, non-defilable, non-conditioned, or you can say emptiness too. Okay, all right, because it's from everything from that pureness. Everything comes about from that pureness, whether it's good or bad, whether it's pure, impure, makes all the dialectic, the dualistic, all dualistic forms, okay, dualistic dharmas come from this, okay, all right, so that i.e. emptiness. All right? Okay? So everything will return. So that's the four nirvana virtues. Okay? So that's column A. That's what's represented or symbolized by our heavenly portal. Okay? So the next one is called the four immeasurable minds. Okay? That's you can say the manifestation of our Buddha nature as a mind, as a thought, as a view. You can say as a thought or view. Make sense? That's why it's called four immeasurable minds. Okay? So in a sense, you can say that's also a characteristic of our Buddha nature. Okay? All right? So that's why it's column B, because really that's a supreme display of our divine perfect wisdom. Okay? So you know what the four immeasurable minds are, right? We know what they are, right? Right? The infinite loving kindness. But if you look on the Word document, because I can't fit it on the spreadsheet, on page 2 on the under attributes, the four immeasurable minds, I give a little bit more detail. The first one means infinite loving kindness, but it's to give love and happiness to others, okay, without condition, really, okay. Boundless compassion and mercy, number 2, or to save others from suffering or willing to suffer for others, okay, to bear burden for others. That's the Bei, okay. The third one is infinite equanimity or relinquishment, means willing to give or to yield and give everything up for others. And then the last one is limitless or boundless happy joy, to rejoice in the welfare of others. Okay? Make sense? Okay? So that's the manifestation. Actually, the four immeasurable minds, you can say, is the manifestation of the four nirvana virtues. Okay? It's the expression. Okay? Because we talk about four nirvana, it's very abstract. It is. It's very abstract. What's unperturbed? What's unmoving? What's, all that. It's very, very abstract. It's very difficult to describe. Right? It's no very little adjectives. You can't find good adjectives to describe that. Okay? So the four immeasurable minds, you can say, oh, it's a manifestation, or it's a part of the characteristic coming from our Buddha nature. So that's column B. That's the you can say the divine mantra encompasses that, because it's part of our wisdom. Okay, it's part of that wisdom. Okay, all right. Okay, and then you could go more to detail too. It's called, have you guys heard of the 5 wisdoms? The 5 Dhyana Buddha wisdoms. But anyway, that's the right. Remember the what's that? The divine observing wisdom, right? The universal equal wisdom, the perfection of conduct's wisdom, the great mirror wisdom, and then there is the then there's the fifth wisdom. I forgot, but it's in the list. It's in the glossary list. Okay, you guys can look it up. Okay. It's where is it? It's on page. Maybe I don't have it. I don't have it. But it doesn't matter. But you can all look it up. All right. There is a 5th one. Okay, I forgot what it was. Okay, it's represented by the center, by Vairocana. But that's okay. 大日如来. Okay, but that's okay. All right. Okay, but that's called the 5 Dhyana wisdoms, or 5 Dani wisdoms. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. So that's column B. Then Holy Seal is represented by the action part. You get it? The carrying out. Make sense? Okay? Carrying out. Because we have a body, right? You can only carry it out if you have a body, right? So I use one of the attributes, the 4 great vows. Okay? Actually, the 4 great vows, if we recall, going back to the presentation on the Noble Eightfold Path, I talked about remember the 4 noble truths? The 4 noble truths? 苦集灭道, right? Dukkha, what? Dukkha, you can say desire. Well, I have it. It's called the truth of suffering, dukkha, the truth of the origin of suffering, and the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. Okay? So that's the path, okay? So actually, it's from the 4 noble truths, which is part of what? On this spreadsheet, it would be under level 7 cultivation, it'll be under proper understanding and view. Okay? The Four Noble Truths is part of that. Okay? So from that Four Noble Truth, okay, under the wisdom, right, category, it flows into column C, the Four Great Vows, as a manifestation. That's why I say attribute. It's an attribute, okay, as a manifestation. So actually, the first noble truth leads to the first great vow. Make sense? Okay? The first noble truth leads to, gives rise, or you can say gives rise. In action, when you say in action, when it's in action, it gives rise to the first vow, first great vow. Then the second noble truth, what? Under wisdom, gives rise to what? The second great vow, which is to extinguish all inexhaustible afflictions. Okay? All right? And then the third great vow gives rise to master all the immeasurable dharmas. Okay? And then the fourth great vow is to achieve the unsurpassed, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Okay? Okay, that's the way. Okay, that's the way. The way. All right, the way. Okay? The third path is to how you cease suffering. It's to master all the dharmas. If you master the dharma, you have no suffering. You get it?
You know how
or you know how to cease to transcend suffering because you understand what suffering is anyway. So that's why I call it the four great vows under column C, because that's a manifestation. And you can only fulfill these four great vows if you have a body, a form. Make sense? So it falls under the column of the physical, right? Okay? So that's how it's linked. Okay? So now this is very specific now. That's why it's getting very, very specific. Okay? Very specific levels. All right? So basically, so now we understand. Now we have, at least this is one way to connect the dots, to link, say, the three treasures. It seems like it's a separate thing on its own, right? Separate topic. It's a specific, knowledge, understanding, whatever. But it is linked to the what? Cultivation of what? The Noble Eightfold Path. For example, I'm using Noble Eightfold Path as a basic, okay? It could lead to other levels of cultivation, but that's I'm not including it here because that's too much detail. And also, therefore, those following attributes also, okay? All right? Those two levels. Now, I'm ahead of time. Good. Okay, now the last level, I call it oneness. It's kind of to sum everything up. It's to sum. It's to go back, to collect. I call it oneness level. Because what does that mean? Okay, oneness, if you look at the Word document, I use page 2 under number 9. I call it what? 即照同时. That means it's both what? 即照同时, it's one. I mean, it's in the glossary of terms list that you can look it up. Okay, you can look it up. It's in here. Okay, 即照同时. Yeah, it just means that it's both. You both have the essence and the application or the function that exists simultaneously. Okay, exists simultaneously, exists simultaneously, exists simultaneously. That's probably a better term. Okay, so that's what it means. So then under A, I say, well, what is that oneness composed of? Okay, it's that eternal, changeless, unperturbed essence. It's our absolute perfect awareness. Okay, that's our Buddha nature. You can say it's Buddha nature, essence, principle. Okay, and then that's the Ji part. The Ji part, 不变之体. Okay, if you look at the Word document, page 2 under item number 9, I have 即不变之体. Okay, it's the unchanging essence. Okay, you can say essence. Okay, unchanging nature, essence, doesn't matter. Okay, so all right, so that's what our first treasure represent. Okay, or embody. So then the second one is what? Now, it falls into two pieces. See, so two parts. It's all zao. It's all zao. Zao, it's also in the glossary of terms list. You can look it up, okay? Zao literally means to shine, right? To illuminate. Okay, yeah, literally. Yeah, illuminate, yeah. Okay, but there are two parts to it. One is so if you look at the word spreadsheet, I call it the internal function in accordance with the eternal essence. That's the 照见, or, okay, 照见. Actually, 照见, also there's a Sanskrit term called vipassana, but that's okay. Or samatha, vipassana, but that's okay. You don't need to know those terms, but that's what it represents. Or have you heard the term 限量? 限量, direct, immediate, what? Inference, or not? Knowing, knowledge, understanding, or whatever, insight from our Buddha nature. You don't have to use our conscious mind to think. Make sense? So that's the internal aspect. Yeah, get it? Because it's in your mind. So that's under column B. Okay? That's under wisdom. You can say it's wisdom too. It's another function of wisdom. You can say that. Make sense? Make sense? Now it's all linked, right? Connected. And then the column C, it's the external application or response in harmony with our karmic affinity. Or what? On the Word document, under C, it's the external in harmony with karmic, or 造, or 随缘之用, right? That's the application or use or response in harmony with karmic affinity. 缘, 随缘. That means in harmony with. You can say in harmony with, in accordance with. Yeah, in response to circumstances. Yeah. And all things. Really, it's all things. All things. It's really all things. Okay? So that's the external piece, right? Because karmic affinity or objects or matters are all external, right? So that's the external aspect. So there's an internal and external aspect of the 造, of the oneness. So if you combine all three, column A, B, and C, it's what? It's oneness. Get it? It's simultaneous, all one. You get it? So it's like 两面一体, something like that. Okay? All right? Okay? In this case, the 两面, the one is the essence. The second one is the application, but then there's or function, which is internal, external. Okay? All right? Make sense? Make sense? Yeah. See, so that kind of sums it up. So actually, the three treasures, when you think about it, implies or embodies our oneness. Get it? The oneness. Okay? Make sense now? See, so this is very high level now, okay? Nobody would have imagined that. Whoa, the three treasures means all that? No, well, it does. Okay, so I just show the connection, okay? So that's what it means. Now, okay, in conclusion, we can say, now, okay, it's not in the spreadsheet, it's in the Word document, bottom of page 2. It's basically A, I say A, yeah, it could be 1. A, it's preciousness. It's precious because what? We can transcend samsara. Remember, the first treasure allows us to transcend samsara, right? Okay? Because it's open, right? Remember, the heavenly portal is open, right? B, it's special. Okay, specialness, I don't know if there's a term, but I call it specialness. It what? Because it embodies all true cultivation and all dhammas. And that's, you can say, that's like our divine wisdom, okay? That's the wisdom, okay, part. Okay, the C, uniqueness. It's the highest dharma not found in scriptures, and we can achieve unsurpassed, supreme, perfect enlightenment. Okay? That's remember the flower sermon, right? What did Buddha say to Mahakasyapa? He said, well, I possess the true dharma eye, the marvelous mind of nirvana, the true form of the formless, the what? Subtle dharma gate not found in words and transmitted outside of the scriptures. This I what? Bestow or give to Mahakasyapa, right? Okay, so that last phrase is what that uniqueness is, that the three treasures is the highest teaching, highest dharma that's not found in words. Make sense? It's not found in the scriptures. Make sense? Okay, all right. And lastly, why is it important? Why are the three treasures important? Because we can apply it and cultivate at all times and in all places or every time and everywhere. Or another way of saying it's 当下. We say in the moment. It's actually all time, all places. Okay? Everywhere, anywhere. Everywhere and every time. Okay? Or anytime, whatever. All right? So that's the conclusion. I'm summing up. So now you have a flavor, understanding of how I went through the various levels. I'm trying to go from the higher level, we call it higher level, or broad level down to the more specific, narrow level. And so you see that there is a connection between just the three treasures and cultivation, or oneness, if you want to wrap everything up, sum everything up. Make sense now? Oh, good connection, huh? You're not going to find this in the internet, folks. So that's why we must realize that how precious this Tao is, the three treasures. How, my God, it's something unique, something special, something that is what? Not found in the scriptures. It's the highest Dharma, right? It's the supreme Dharma that allows us to become enlightened. So that is why in the past, all the cultivators have to go through so many hardships and levels of cultivation before they were even able to be know the three treasures. Make sense? Make sense? Okay, so that's why it's the highest level. You can say it's the highest level. All right? All right? So now today, look at today. We beg you to give you the three treasures or to let you know the three treasures. And then you say, oh, that's it, no big deal. See ya, gone. Well, never use it, never apply it, never cultivate it. Well, yes, you can still transcend samsara, but it's only temporary. It's only temporary. So it's not yet Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So that's why we, in this one lifetime that we have, in this opportunity of the universal salvation of the three realms, and while we still are healthy, while we still are able, we have to cultivate and apply the three treasures in everyday living. Only then can we attain supreme enlightenment. Understand? Okay, so that's why it's so important. Now you see the connection? Okay, all right. So I know, I think time is up, right? Oh, okay. I've been any questions? No questions? Good. Any questions? Any insights? Any enlightened views? Okay,
the three treasures is not, it's not knowledge. Okay? So knowledge, well, that's one aspect you can say.
Superficial. That's a basic
superficial,
knowledge. Yeah, basic
but
level.
It's actually, it's part of you already. I mean,
Right, we all have
when
it.
you receive the Tao, it's the three treasures. I mean, it's just pointing out
Right.
that you have this. It's not, it didn't give you anything. It's because you already have it. So
Right.
then we have to, once we understand that, then we realize, then we have to put it into practice, of course. I mean, just make.
Yeah, but it's hard to
requirement.
practice based upon
Well,
what we
just-
learn.
just-
That's the
just that.
hard
I mean,
part.
the-
Yeah, that's the hard
so
part.
when I explain, I always talk about the virtues, all that, that's kind of like the implementation
Yeah, it's
of
linked to it,
So
right? It's
linked to that,
connected.
'cause that's part of, the virtues is part of you anyways. I mean, so you have to put it into action, right? So it's very important to do that, because it's not just, we say you have to remember the three treasures. That's at the very
Yeah,
basic-
but people when they say at the last breath, oh, I remember that. But what good is it if you don't cultivate it? You
Yeah.
don't apply it in everyday life. For your previous, since the time you receive the Tao to the time of your last breath, if you don't apply it, it's useless. I mean, that's why I say it's temporary. It's only you could transcend samsara, but it's only temporary. At best, 129,600 years.
No, less.
Less, half of that, half of
Yeah,
that.
less than that. I mean, no, because you
Oh,
need,
yeah,
you
you're
need
right,
to
you're right. Yeah,
cultivate
yeah.
virtues and merits.
That's
Okay,
about
so that's
half
part
of
of that.
Yeah.
Implement or realization of the three treasures is to cultivate. I mean, cultivation
to
is a part
practice,
of that.
to practice it, yeah.
Right. You have to develop your virtues, nurture your virtues, and form merits. Without those, you can't stay. I mean,
Right.
this is just a temporary thing.
Precisely,
So
right.
you're gonna have to come back pretty soon, very
Yeah.
fast. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Or within the next cycle.
well,
Yeah, within
no,
the next.
even
Yeah.
less than 10,800 years. I mean,
Well,
it's-
yeah, well,
you can't
yeah.
stay that long. So, so virtues and merits are still very important.
Very
So we
important,
need
yeah.
this. Yeah, so it's not just the knowledge, right? So we have to put it in practice. Everything is, that's like the internal, external. I mean, you have
Right.
to have both.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
so,
Makes sense now? So now you have a higher level understanding of three treasures? Makes sense, right? Now makes sense? Something new? You learn something new every day, right? Excellent. Okay. All right. So I'll wrap it up. I think. Oh,
Yeah, we
3
can-
minutes?
doesn't
We can go.
you can finish that.
Okay. So I know there are things that maybe I did not say well. So I beg for Buddha's forgiveness. Okay. So thank you, everybody.